This episode was sponsored by Let 'Em Look Hair by Christine. Amazing hair experience custom to your request. Have the hair you always wanted. Specializing in fantasy colors, blondes, and balayage. Make an appointment at 910-709-5800 or check out her Instagram page at letem_look. Hey, bitch, hey, it's your girl, Gloria. We are back, 2020, first episode of the year. We have an amazing guest, a true artist, a feminist, a self-confidence warrior queen, Sara Liz. She does photography, especially boudoir photography, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I actually really like that introduction. I feel really confident now in all of that. So my name is Sara Liz, and I own Boudoir by Sara Liz. And boudoir photography is basically classy, sensual lingerie type photography. And so I have a ton of fun doing that. It's my favorite thing in the whole world.
So I came across Sara Liz because we worked a wedding together.
That's right.
So I met her and her energy was like amazing. And from following her on social media, I then saw her boudoir page and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I didn't even realize anybody in El Paso was really emphasizing doing that much of boudoir photography, building like a portfolio on that. Right. So you're one of the only boudoir photographers in El Paso, kind of?
I don't want to make such a bold statement, but as far as I know, I think I'm the only, at least, female boudoir photographer in El Paso, which I think is very important. I know as a female, I would rather have my boudoir picture taken by another female.
Yeah.
Just for the mere fact that, as a woman, I understand what another woman wants, how they feel, what makes them feel good, what makes them feel sexy and beautiful and empowered. And I love helping other women do that through boudoir photography. I have been doing this for 9 years now. This will be my 9th year shooting boudoir. And yeah, I freaking love it. I love that I have such a huge part in El Paso, being able to reach so many women. And I would love for other boudoir photographers to come up, but I do love having like the main.
Yeah, and having such a wide variety, I'm sure. Like the clientele.
Oh yeah, like I have so many different kinds of women that come for a boudoir shoot. So I love it when women say, oh, boudoir photography isn't for me. I love to tell them, well, let me tell you who I have photographed. I have photographed a virgin who is getting ready for her wedding. I have photographed a conservative church lady. I have photographed women with multiple body modifications and tattoos. I have photographed grandmothers. I have photographed a size 0. I have photographed a size 28. I have photographed stretch marks and boob jobs and everything in between. So no woman can say boudoir photography is not for me, because boudoir photography is for everyone.
Yeah.
My website actually says celebrating all women, with all capitalized, because it's true. Every woman is sexy in their own individual way. And I love being able to magnify that and focus on that. I feel like I'm doing all of the talking. I'm sorry.
No, that's totally good. That's totally good. We want you to continue to talk and this is about you. The episode's about you.
I love talking about me.
Yeah, and about your craft. Who doesn't love talking about their craft? That's what a passionate person does, right? Continue to always
and that's how I like to describe it. Is it something that I'm passionate about? I've been doing photography my whole life. I had my first camera when I was 12. I bought my first professional camera with my first paycheck when I was 16.
Awesome. Wow.
I've always been doing photography, and I've dabbled in everything. Weddings, of course, babies, families, I mean, everything. And I stumbled upon, I have a photographer that I have always loved. She lives in the Pacific Northwest. And one day she posted a boudoir session in this really beautiful hotel with this beautiful skyline, and I loved it. And there was like shadows and light cascading down her body, and I was just totally enthralled. And then I thought, is this something that I can do? Is this like a field of photography that I can do? And I started looking into it, and I got a couple of girlfriends, and I'm like, hey, do you want to model for me? And I slowly started getting it off the ground. And I immediately fell in love with it. And so out of all of the spectrums of photography, boudoir photography is absolutely my favorite aspect of photography. I love it because I feel it's more than just photos. It's a whole experience.
Yeah, it really is.
You feel good, you feel confident, you feel sexy. And for a lot of the women that I photograph, they don't feel sexy in their everyday life. I get a lot of soccer moms. That's like the majority of my clientele.
Yeah.
And it's women that don't do their makeup every day, and they have a ponytail, and they're running their kids around, and, they haven't heard their husband tell them that they're beautiful in a few weeks. And, so it's for them to come in and get professional hair and makeup and get all dolled up and feel really sexy, get into some cute lingerie. It's a whole experience. It's amazing. It's and to see the way that the women walk out of the studio when we're done, just with their head held so high and just feeling so good, and they'll even text me a couple of hours later like, I'm still feeling it. Like, I still feel so good. Like, I can take on the world. And I'm like, good. Like, that's the whole point, Like, yeah, like the photos are a cool little,
extra.
Right. But I mean, it's the whole experience, and I love it. I have fun shooting weddings too, but there's just something powerful about boudoir photography that I freaking love.
I think it's this like age that we live in, right? So we're like on our phones, or we're in the media where there's always like beautiful women, and they're always like dolled up, and like you said, the professional hair and the professional makeup. And I just think it's so amazing when a regular person gets to experience that full on thing. And it's usually for something like your wedding or a special day like that. So when you do it for something that's like so much more intimate, it's very powerful. Can you kind of tell us like what the day involves of the day of a boudoir shoot?
Yes, of course. So she shows up 9:00 in the morning. My studio is in my house. And for the first 2 hours, you get professional hair and makeup by my girl, Emily. Shout out to Emily. And you sip on champagne. I'm sitting there with you. We're all talking, having girl talk. And you really start to relax. And because you do walk in super nervous. Everyone does. That's totally, completely normal. And then once the hair and makeup is done, we move over to the studio. Emily says goodbye. And it's just you and me. And we just have a blast. I shoot 3 outfits while you're there, but of course we take our time. We decide what looks good, what order to do everything in. And then when we're done with the shoot, I take you over to the computer and we do a viewing and ordering process, and you pick out what you want to order that same day. So everything is like in the hype and you're still in the vibe, and it's it feels so good.
Yeah.
Should I mention that you just did a boudoir?
Yeah, so shoot? I was about to say, we had talked about doing this because when we talked about the boudoir shooting, I was just amazed at how passionate she is about actually shooting different women, and just how she saw it as an experience and as something that you can grow from and get all this self-confidence from. So I was like, girl, I have to get you on the podcast. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, you have to be on. And so we started planning it, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to be talking about something I don't really know. Like, maybe I should do a shoot, and then I can kind of feel like what she's saying. So we did that last week, and it is so much fun. So I've done a couple of different photo shoots for different things, for the store, for friends, modeling, whatever, for their portfolio building. But this was so intimate, and it was so about me, even though it wasn't really about me because I wasn't getting married and I didn't have a reason to be doing it. It was still so much like, it just made me feel really good, you know, and that was really awesome. I messaged her and I was like, okay, what am I taking to wear? Like, do you have a theme you have going on? She's like, wear whatever you want. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, wear whatever you feel sexy in, like whatever you want. So I thought that was really cool. So I picked 3 outfits, but I've seen what other women wear sometimes, and I really like how some women will wear like a t-shirt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I try and tell women, because there are a few individuals out there that are intimidated by lingerie. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. You don't have to have lingerie to feel sexy. You can feel sexy in whatever you're in. You can wear sweatpants and a crop top and you can still feel sexy. So that's what I try and explain to them. Bring outfits that you personally feel sexy and that you feel good in. We all have that little nightgown that every time we put it on, I feel good in this. I look good in this, you know? And so that's what I try and encourage. The lingerie is fun, yes. And there are women that do bring lingerie, but there are women that bring like chunky sweaters and panties, and that's really cute. That's really sexy. So yeah, so it's whatever your version of sexy is.
And I really liked that how she kind of made it like, okay, you can be as comfortable as you want. And then throughout the whole thing, she was posing me, which I thought was really awesome because, again, it's something that happens with regular women. Even when we take a photo, sometimes you don't know where to put your hands. You don't know where to look. You don't know how to stand. So having somebody pose you and having somebody say, like, okay, your neck's too high or this and that, it was just building my confidence. So, okay, I know I'm not going to look like a fool in these photos, you know? So yes. I thought that was really cool. Like, you just worked well with the person.
Yeah, so I am the posing queen. I will pose you from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. You don't have to have any modeling experience. You don't have to have ever had a photo shoot ever. When you come into my studio, I pose you perfectly all the way down. And I'm super honest with you because I want your images to look really good. I will put you, I start off with like basic posing and then I adjust for each girl so that the pose looks best for you. And there will be times that I'll pose a girl and I'm like, you know what, this one isn't for you. Let's move around. Let's try something different because I don't want you to look at your photos having this great experience and then be like, ew, gross. Yeah. Like I can see my like this or my that. And so I pose you to where you're going to look the best. I did an example one time on I have a private Facebook group that is girls only. You have to request to join. And it's really cool. It's a safe space. So you can comment or post sexy selfies. I do these little giveaways and stuff. And that way, like, your husband doesn't see it or your Aunt Karen doesn't see it and comment on it. And you feel free to, like, even ask questions about boudoir photography if you have no idea what it is. Like, it's a safe space. And so I put on there one time a picture of myself in panties. And I was just standing there straight. And you could see all my dimples and my cellulite, and it was really gross. And then I posed myself how I would pose a client. And then I snapped another selfie, and my legs were smooth. And there were still a couple dimples there, but for the most part,
everything went higher, elevated.
Right. Even my waist looked smaller. My butt was higher. It was all just simple posing is all it was. And so that's what I try and tell the girls. Trust me when it comes to the posing. Don't worry about anything. All you got to do is show up, drink champagne, and I got the rest.
So, that's really all you have to do and change. That was another thing
you
that
have to do that.
Yeah, you have to change. You have to like get ready.
I'm not going to do that for you.
It won't do that for you. One thing I found really interesting. So it's not that I'm like, I guess it's confidence. Not like, oh, I think I'm the most perfect person, but it was like, this is the body that you're in, so just accept it.
Right.
So I changed in front of her like nothing, right? But I was really surprised. She told me about 10% of women will just change in front of you.
Right.
So I thought that was like an interesting fun fact.
Yeah, so I have like a restroom or dressing room, whatever you want to call it. And so most of the girls will change in there when they change their outfits. And that's granted the fact that I'm still going to see everything. You're going to change it to something that's see-through. I'm going to see areola. But yeah, very rarely do they actually change in front of me. And of course, I'm oblivious to it all. I'm like with you. You changed right in front of me. We were having a conversation the whole time.
It's like she was like looking to see like, oh my God, does she have a bruise in her thigh? Like, no, she was looking at what she was going to take photos of. She was on her phone. She was serving herself one. She was serving me some. Like, you know, it was just
music.
funny. Yeah. But I guess going back to like the whole fact that you just do all different types of women. So it's not just body types, but it's attitudes, it's personalities, it's comfort levels.
Yes. So
life experiences.
Right, yeah. It's funny because going back to the whole naked thing, I had a girl that was in hair and makeup, and she tells me, by the way, I'm not going to do any nude photos. I'm like, no, that's fine. Which I want to bring that up also. So you don't have to do full nude in the boudoir shoot. We can do as nude as you prefer. But I do tell the girls, don't decide before the photo shoot. Decide when you're there. Because a lot of times they'll decide, I'm not going to do full nude. And then they'll get there and they'll feel so good. They're like, I'm going to regret it if I don't do full nude. Let's just do it. And so it's a lot of fun. And you can be as covered and conservative the whole photo shoot as you want. Or you can go as crazy as you want. But I did have one girl that straight up in hair and makeup was like, I'm not going to do a full nude today. I'm like, okay. And I just was like, all right. And then 5 minutes into the shoot, I swear to you, she took everything off and was like, let's do this.
She's like, okay, I'm ready.
Amazing. And
like, 2 drinks in, let's do it.
And this was 3 or 4 years ago. And it's so funny because every time I run into her and it's like a group of girls, she's like, this girl gets you naked so fast. And I'm like, be careful how you say that, first of all. Right. But I'm like, but that's what I want. I want the girls to feel so comfortable with themselves that they can be naked in front of the camera. Because it has nothing to do with me. I'm just there, as a tool, like helping you feel sexy. And if you, for the first time, realize I'm sexy with no clothes on, all the power to you, girlfriend. Like, that's awesome. That takes a long time to get there, So I love it. I love my job.
What do you think has been like maybe like the worst or the weirdest or the strangest or the most negative experience that you had?
Oh, that's a good question.
You're like, oh my God, I don't want that to ever happen again.
I guess the weirdest or awkward maybe was a girl that I think she showed up drunk and then she just kept getting drunk and just her hair was a mess. Like you could see like all of like her extensions hanging out. Like she wasn't like she wasn't making a whole lot of effort. And I don't know. It was just like a whole weird, like I didn't vibe very well with her. And I was just like, this is a whole weird experience.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But that like rarely happens. I vibe with 99% of the girls that come in. So, and especially because I'm a mother of 3, I've got stretch marks, I've got cellulite. I'm like right there with you, girl. Yeah. Like, because most of the girls that I get are moms, and it's so much fun. And yeah, you don't have to have a reason to have boudoir pictures. You don't have to be getting married or whatever. Girls come in because they're getting divorced or they just had a baby.
She was telling me they have like a lot of women going for breakups like after.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's like a good way to heal, I guess.
Yeah,
send the Polaroids to your ex, which is another cool thing. She gives you Polaroids with your session, which is amazing. They're so cute. They're pocket sized.
I love Polaroids. They're so much fun.
Every time I have to fill up gas, I'm like, look, I have this. If you put my gas, just kidding.
Yeah, we actually did a double exposure Polaroid with Gloria, and her head was overexposed, so it's like a double butt picture.
Yeah, it's just like my body twice with no head.
It's a pretty cool photo.
My baby daddy was like, oh wow, that's exactly you. No head and 2 bodies. I'm so sorry. That's me.
But yeah, it's just all around just a really fun experience. And I really like I said, I've been shooting boudoir for 9 years, but it really started picking up maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And before that, it was just super hard to get shoots. People straight up considered it porn. It just wasn't widely accepted. And then just this whole like trend of women empowerment and just Pink and Lizzo and all these girls started popping up, and I was really I was getting emails after emails like, I want to do this, and so I went from having like 2 or 3 boudoir shoots a year to having like 30 or 40, like from one year to the next.
Nice.
So it was really cool. Yeah. So and last year was my best year yet as far as boudoir photography. I got to meet so many amazing women. It was funny because last year I ended up shooting a lot of police ladies.
Oh, nice.
So it's really cool.
Mrs. Officer.
Yeah, so I was like, sexy ladies. So
That's cool.
so yeah, if I ever get pulled over by one of them, I'm like, I've seen you naked.
Did you do any? Have you done any like with gun poses?
I have done some. Oh, lots of girls love to bring in props.
Right.
So
yeah.
I've gotten guns, I've gotten whips, I've had several girls ask me to tie them up.
Oh, okay, cute.
Yeah.
So do you know how to do all the different knots? And
I've
stuff?
had to learn.
Yeah, I can imagine. Tricks of the trade.
Yes,
You're learning all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the girls left behind one of her whips, and my husband found it. And he's like, "What is this?"
I like see what happened at work. It's because work gets wild sometimes. You wouldn't understand.
And then like there are some girls that want like close up pictures of their piercings because there's no other opportunity for them to get that done, and so they want to like immortalize it by doing a photo of it. So I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So I mean, yeah, like I get all kinds of really, really fun requests. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the girls do let me lead the photo shoot, which of course I love, because then when I have freedom to let my creativity go, and they just fully trust me, that's when I create the best images. I mean, images that even I'm like, I didn't even know I was this good.
Yeah.
And it's the sessions where the girls are like trying to control every little aspect. Those are the ones that I don't feel come out as good because I don't have any control of it.
Yeah,
it's just the girl directing the whole time, and so I do love that.
And you kind of have to like see what you're wanting, mm-hmm. and just like any photographer, like
and a lot of times they don't see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit them down, like, I don't know if you remember your very first pose. You just sat in the middle of the bed, and it was just kind of really boring. But I was doing all kinds of angles. I was adjusting my exposure. I was darkening the room and just creating cascading light on your breast. And it was just beautiful, you know? And so they don't see that until I turn the camera around and I'm like, look at what I just did. And they're like, oh, that's me. That's my favorite phrase. That's me. Like, I love it when girls say that. So I had one client, she said that the whole shoot. And then when I delivered all her products, she said it again. That's me. No way. And then even still, every once in a while, she'll text me, like, if I post one of her samples, that's me. Like, she can't believe it. Yeah. She can't believe it. So.
I can't believe that's that's awesome.
Yeah, no, so I love it.
Like a really
I love
feeling.
it. But yeah, so I'm super non-judgmental about any women that come in my studio. Like I said, grandmas, virgins, body modifications. I mean, even girls with plastic surgery. I'm like, you know what? Like, if that's what made you feel beautiful, all the power to you, you know? Like, I love it. Like, if a tummy tuck is what it took for you to get to the point where you're like,
I'm gonna be naked in this photo.
Yeah,
then that's what it takes. Then let's do
it. And it's the same. I mean, to me, it's the same thing as like wearing makeup. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you're adjusting your face.
Yeah, you're switching up what you naturally look like.
Thing. Yeah, so I love it. I love it. I did have one girl lie to me about. I mean, I know what a tummy tuck scar looks like. Yeah. Like, I see a lot of naked women, and she before we started was like, my appendix burst last year and I had a scar from appendix surgery, and she takes off her clothes, and in my head I'm like, that's a tummy tuck scar. Like, I know what it looks like. You don't have to be ashamed.
You're like, I don't have an appendix either, and it doesn't look like that.
It was from hip to hip. Like,
that's a giant appendix. Like, it burst all the way inside you.
But I so badly, like, just wanted to tell her, like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you did a tummy tuck. Like, that's amazing. Like, that you were able to do that for yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, that's so cool.
It's brave of you. Yeah. It's brave. It takes courage. It takes self-love, because you're putting yourself first. It takes saving.
Yes.
It takes a lot of stuff. Be proud of yourself, girl.
Yeah.
Tell everybody.
So so that was kind of an awkward position for me, because she like laid the groundwork for me to not say anything. But yeah, from that point on, I wanted to make sure that all women that came into my studio with plastic surgery felt totally comfortable talking about their plastic surgery, and let them know that it's totally normal, it's totally fine, and it's totally cool. Like, I love it. Like, if I can get implants, like, I would.
Yeah, right.
If I had the money, like, totally.
Yeah. Self-improvement's never a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, and like take a nose job, for example. If you hate your nose and you go your whole life hating your nose, like, that's no life to live. But if you have the means to fix it, and then you feel so much better, and then you can just go about the rest of your life loving your face again, like, cool, do that, you know?
One thing I did want to touch, because you were talking about like noses and nose jobs. I love your photography because you will like edit like lighting wise and things like that. But she doesn't like go and airbrush all of your stretch marks out. She doesn't try and like smooth anything or lipo anything in, or if there's a roll sticking somewhere, like stick it back in the underwear or whatever the photographers are doing nowadays. Like, she just like lets it and is like, that's what she looks like. If she wants it gone, she could work out. You know, she just leaves you how you are, and it's really, really beautiful because they're these gorgeous images, and that's why I really like fell in love with her page, because I would go through it, and it's like these beautiful images, and then but there's all these things that you wouldn't usually find in a beautiful image, you know, because it's just what we're trained to look at, especially somebody. You know, you grow up looking at hair and makeup and fashion all your life, so you kind of know what a photo looks like, you know? Yeah. So when I look at your photos, I'm like, oh my God, that's so different. Oh my God, that's so different. Like, women look like that, you know? And that's a big moment too. Now we're seeing so many more photos that are unedited and stuff on the internet, but a lot of times it's still a lie, right? Like, we're still being lied to. So I love seeing her photos because I'm like, oh, everybody has that, because I still have that moment where I'm like, nobody's waist looks like this. Like, I can't show my waist. Like, nobody's waist looks like this. But then I go to your page and I'm like, oh, that's what bodies look like. Yeah. This is what bodies look like. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, I can't believe my boobs look like that after pregnancy. Like, what the?
So a lot of this goes back to the posing. If I pose you and your lonja is like the first thing that you're going to see in the image, I'm going to repose you so that the lonja is tucked in a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
But you're not going to go in and delete it.
But then, in post-production, I leave it alone. My rule is anything that's permanent on your body, I'm not going to remove. So dimples, cellulite, stretch marks, all that is going to stay. The only thing I would remove is something temporary, like if you curl your hair that morning and you accidentally burn your face, I'm going to remove that because that's not permanent. And then I really just work on the contrast of the image and the highlights in the lighting, and that's it. I don't touch anything because, I want you to look the way that you look. I don't want you to, like, come home and show your husband and it's Halle Berry's body, you know? Because nobody looks like Halle Berry.
I completely feel you. I did like one story you told us about the woman who had like misproportioned, I guess, nipples.
Yes. So she had 2 totally different cup sizes on her breast, and then one nipple was substantially higher than the other nipple. And it was noticeable if you just stood her straight up and down. And because I knew that that was an insecurity of hers, I worked around it because I wanted her to love her images. So I posed her in the whole photo shoot to where either her nipples were hidden or they were pulled up and even, or she supported them with her arms, or she turned her shoulder or whatever. So that way, not one image in the whole photo shoot displayed the imperfection that she did not like. So if you do come into my studio and you're like, this is the one thing, the most common one is the tummy. I do not like my tummy. Cool. We can totally work around that. Yeah. Which is another reason why I ask you to bring more than I shoot 3 outfits. I ask you to bring more just in case someone does say that. And then they come in with like a teddy and then just a bra and panties. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to hide your tummy, let's do the teddy. Or if they just have the bra and panties, I'll pose them on their bellies on the bed, or I'll have them hold up a sheet. I'll work around it to where we don't have to display your imperfections, the ones that you don't like. Yeah. Because I don't want you, I know with me, like I have stuff about my body that I don't like. And of course, when I see a picture of myself, my eye goes straight to that one body part, you know? And I don't want the girls to do that. I want them to look at the pictures and be like, dang, I'm hot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, to me, that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for the woman to feel like they never have before, you know? Or if you do, I mean, I have women that come in too that are already super confident. Like they don't need a boost, but it's still so much fun to just watch them and celebrate themselves, you know? Just be like, yeah, I'm hot. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I love it.
Get some photos.
Yes.
Document it. And I think it's like, it's like such a, I don't know, like a double-ended sword sometimes with the whole like self-love, self-image, selfie, getting photos of yourself type of thing. People are like, why would you spend money on that? Or why would you spend time on that? Or why are you doing that for yourself? Or like, you know, you're not a model or whatever the case may be. It seems like something so just why, you know, for so many people, but it's so major for so many people. It's life-changing for so many people.
Oh, yeah.
And I always tell people, like, you're only going to look like this. And you said it too, for now. Like, you're only going to look like this for now. I pinky promise you, you're going to look different in 3 years. You're going to look different in 4 years. Your body's going to look different. It might look better. You might like it more. But you're not going to look at, like, what you looked now. And you're not going to be going through what you went through now. And you're not going to be where you're at now. So it's good to take those photos. And professional photos are nothing like photos that you take on a regular basis.
Right.
And you could save them and you can show them to your kids, your grandkids, or whoever's in your future or whatever the case may be. It's just something fun, I think. It's
and one of the things that I always get from girls is, okay, now that I have all the information, like, I'm ready to book you. I'm just going to lose 5 more pounds and then I'll call you. And I'm like, no. I was like, first of all, we all know you're not going to lose those 5 pounds. Like, it's just not going to happen. And second of all, like, it's not, 5 pounds isn't a big deal. Like,
yeah, it's really
just
not.
let's photograph you the way that you are. And 5 pounds, again, doesn't make much of a difference on camera either. Like, if you held up 2 photos of you 5 pounds ago and now.
And if you really want to go lose some weight, you should take some photos now and then take some when you lose the weight. And then you can see the difference. And then it'll motivate you to lose more. And then continue on your goal. And then you can have
I have about
photos.
a half a dozen girls that actually come to me annually.
Oh, cool.
And that way they have an annual boudoir picture.
That's amazing.
I love it. Yeah.
They hold up signs with the amount of months that they're old. They're like in their pennies with the amount of months they are.
I love it. We should do that next time.
Yeah, I totally loved my session. I thought it was super amazing. It was a confidence booster. Highly recommend it. I will be doing it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what you were saying about self-care and selfies and everything, I totally, especially in my private Facebook group, I promote that all the time. I do like stop, drop, and selfies.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and so, and I tell the girls, go put on your cutest bralette or whatever, or teddy, and do a selfie, and all the other girls in the group can compliment you.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. I think taking selfies, even if you don't post selfies, just take a selfie.
Feel good about yourself. Get
in
to know
the
your
car
angles.
with your heel up by your head.
Yeah, just look at your photos
and just feel good. I heard this crazy number just yesterday that last year there was like 14 million people documented in America that dealt with some type of depression last year.
Oh God.
And so I think like that is just, I mean, selfies, boudoir photo shoots, anything like that, anything that takes care of you helps so much. Like I love it, and I love to just like have a tiny little hand in that, you know, just to like help you feel so good about yourself. I've had 2 boudoir shoots myself, and I love it. Like I'm just like, yes, like I'm hot.
Yeah. And she was actually saying this last boudoir shoot she did, she was the biggest that she's ever been, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm at the heaviest. I just had it last week, and I'm at the highest weight I've ever been at.
Yeah, and she still did her shoot, which to me was just like, yes, girl, do it. Like nothing's gonna stop you. You didn't try and reschedule it. You didn't try and like, you know, work around it and say, oh, I'll do it after the holidays or whatever the case may be.
I actually did do it right after the holidays, after I had like eaten like crap for a whole week.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whatever. I'm like, I am what I am.
This is my tamal.
Yeah.
Look.
But you know what? And 2, on the other side of the coin is, you know what? I'll schedule another one in a year, and I'll see if I can lose 20 pounds in a year. Let's try
it. Or if I gain it, who cares?
Or if I gain it.
Cute.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really, really exciting thing. I highly recommend it to anybody. I highly recommend it to everybody. get to know yourself, get to know your body, get to know like your image, your look, love yourself. And it's a good way to walk into 2020, guys.
Yeah.
Book.
The other thing that I was telling you is that that the girls that come in, I can't really advertise sex pictures on the internet. So all of my advertisement is word of mouth from girls to girls to girls. So even so all of you girls that are listening, follow my page, share with your girlfriends, share with your aunts, your grandmas, whoever. Because that's really how my business grows, and that's how
we're all about women supporting women
more
here.
Women, right?
Yes, women-owned businesses, women supporting women. Get that coin, sis. Secure the bag, ma'am. That's right.
What you said, yes.
Secure the bag 2020. We coming for you in our freaking teddies and strappy underwear.
But even if you start following me and you're not quite ready to book your shoot yet, still tell your girls. You never know if your girl is ready for a shoot and she just hasn't found a boudoir photographer. She hasn't found me yet.
Yeah. So hook it up, tell it, spread it. No, but really, just tell everyone
Spread
about.
eagle is one post I do not do, for the record.
Tell everyone about Sara Liz Boudoir Photography, and stay tuned. We will be sharing some images from the boudoir shoot very soon. That way, you guys can kind of get like an idea of everything, how it looks, and all of that good stuff. And one more thing before we wrap up, because we always like to play this little game, is if we were stranded in an island and you only had 3 things in your bag and we had to survive with those 3 things, what 3 things are we surviving with, girl?
I have to have music, for sure.
You like listen to like Lotto Drake and stuff. That's what we were listening to during the shoot. So I guess we're okay. We'll be fine. We'll be surviving.
I'm a hip hop head.
We thriving and surviving out here.
I have to have my music. I have to have pizza.
I like that. Okay, one more thing.
Let me think. And a pair of cute cheeky panties.
Ooh, so wearing panties, pizza. I forgot the first one. I can't get past pizza and panties.
And rap music.
Okay, so we're having a fucking party. It's a pajama party, a topless pajama party at our island. Hit us up. We'll be there.
If you're stranded on an island,
why not? What do you need? What else do you need? We'll be hunger, kind of fed. We'll be protected where it counts. We'll be fed. We'll be jamming. We'll be ready.
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to tell our audience one more time before we wrap it all up, girl?
No, just hit my social media. Everything is Boudoir by Sara Liz. No H in Sarah. Boudoir is Boudoir. This is the second time I've ever spelled it out loud.
And we'll link everything. Don't worry about it. We'll have everything linked.
Facebook, Instagram, my .com. Just FYI, the .com has uncensored photos.
Ooh.
So if you want to go see real stuff, go to my .com.
I won't be there, so don't get excited.
Social media is all censored. So if you want to see the boring stuff, go to social media.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Gloria, so much.
Anytime, girl. You are fun to be around. You're fun.
You're
fun. No, we're fun on the island. What's up?
I think the first time that I ever saw you was in a photo shoot, actually.
Oh, no way.
I think with the clown makeup. Did you have clown? Or you're like a chola clown or something?
I'm always clowning around.
And I was like...
I'm a joke. I'm always clowning around. That's cool.
No, but you are an inspiration to
Thank
women.
You, friend. Thank you so
cool.
much.
At such a young age, you have accomplished so much. I'm so proud of you.
You're so nice to me.
Okay,
a good way to start 2020. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for taking your time to spending it with me and Sara Liz and hearing all about her amazing career. And I just hope you guys are having an amazing beginning of 2020. Can't wait to see what the year brings for us. Bye, bitches.
had to get up.